Hello there, YouTube. This is Zoo Tycooner Steve, and I welcome you to our final episode of the Rearc Park. For those of you just joining us on the final episode, first of all, shame on you where you've been. But the Rearc Park stands for the recently extinct animal center? Yeah, that's close enough. Anyway, it's the final episode, so I don't have to have it down after today, so I'm not going to sweat about it. And we are going to be filling in this final area here with a species that I've only recently kind of learned about myself. It's called the Voay crocodile, or the Madagascar crocodile. Basically, these are crocodiles with a cool set of awesome horns at the top of their head that went, well, recently extinct, as you might expect given the zoo's name. And I decided, since this is our final episode, I'm going to do something a little more than just put in a regular exhibit and leave it alone. I'm going to do something that I actually first saw at the the Fort Worth Zoo, and that's going to be both a crocodile and a restaurant where you can see the crocodiles from the inside of the dining area. So that's what we're going to be trying to recreate here today, or at least fingers crossed that's what we're going to be doing. Now obviously they don't have the extinct Voay crocodiles at the Fort Worth Zoo. I believe they're using, I want to say mugger crocodiles or some type of crocodilian species. It escapes me now a little bit since I've been there. But this is an exhibit that I've wanted to try for a while now, and I figured this would be the perfect place once I discovered these Voay crocodiles by searching through the Zoo Tycoon to download wikis page for extinct animals. So let's see here what we can do with this dining area. First thing, we're going to have to lay down a pathway. I don't know if this marine path is going to work because I think it curves. So we're going to go ahead and use this safari path, which always shows up a little bit darker than it would given graphic for it. And we'll put in a little zookeeper entrance here. And of course, we cannot leave the Rearc Park without throwing down some beautiful white flowers, as we've done throughout. White flowers, juniper bushes, and a couple entrances there for our keepers of the zoo. Down some more tank walls around the outside here. So for those of you who didn't notice it, I kind of talked over the intro there. What I did was raise the actual floor of the ground in the tank. Then I went ahead and put in the water to keep it at that level. But I left a little bit of ground area for our crocodiles, and I sloped that ground area I left downward. So in theory, what should happen is we should have a higher water level, and then when the crocodiles leave the water, they kind of have a beach that slopes downwards towards the edge of the tank, so they'll still be easy to see even if you're looking at it from the other side where the land is. So fingers crossed this is going to work out. I haven't done this before except in my head, so pretty sure it's going to work, but not positive. And of course we also have to pay attention to our inside area here where we're going to build up the restaurant. These counters are not quite as big as I hoped they would be. Okay, that's probably not going to work. We're going to have to kind of fudge that, I think. So let's go ahead and concentrate on the dining area while I give that a thought. We're going to take these chairs that you can get from Ruben and Sophie's design, along with these high top tables and some of these lower tables in case anyone wants to sit at a four top. Put two there, I can put two there. And I can't use the high top chairs at the regular table. That's not going to work. Put these guys down here. Again, these ones come exclusively from Ruby and Sophie's Designs. I know I have the link for that below, so definitely check them out if you want to start building up your Zoo Tycoon mod folder. Definitely a great place to begin. This is the final episode, so below I'm going to be putting down a link for this zoo file. And I should have a link up. I might not have it ready to go right away. I'm going to also create the... Words are difficult for me sometimes, so you're just going to have to live with it. What I'm planning to do is create a mod pack, or at least a... I don't know if I'm going to create an actual pack, because I know some of the designers don't like it if you like repackage the work that they've done, and that's totally understandable. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do that. If you've been following me all along, you know that every single modification I have is either in those links below or they come directly from the Zoo Tycoon 2 download wiki. So if you see something in here that you can't, I would recommend just going to that Zoo Tycoon download wiki and just grabbing everything that looks awesome, and eventually you'll have everything that I have here. But I might also put together a basic mod pack of not necessarily everything in the zoo, but things that you can mod, or that I've used as mods, and the creators say free use, go ahead and do it. That's what I've been trying to say here for the past 2-3 minutes. I think it was a good waste of time. Back to our restaurant design here. I'm going to put up a double counter design, kind of like what you would get at a theme park, where you'd walk up, order at the counter, and then you would take your little ticket from the counter to the place where we pick up our food here. Very familiar for those of you who make frequent trips to Disney World or Disneyland or Universal or any place like that. Yeah, any place like that, I say. I just compared the happiest place on earth to any place. Shame, shame, shame. But anyway, we'll put these counters out front here. So the idea is they would cook the food, put the food on the counter up front, and then you would turn in the ticket at the register, and that's how you would get your food. And that's how that works there. That's why you come here, in-depth commentary on how to purchase food at theme parks. That's what I'm really known for. I feel like that's my, that's what I bring to the Tycooner community. Anyway, back to the actual exhibit here. We're going to put down a little path here for our keepers and put a roof on their house. There we go, get the right trim. Flip it around here. I guess we can start actually looking at these, let me read this. Malagasy horned crocodile. I believe that's what it's actually called if you try to get it from the download, or Zoo Tycoon 2 download wiki. See, it's more commonly called the Voay. That's V-O-A-Y. So if you want to research it, I would look up Voay. If you want to get the mod for your game, look up Malagasy horned crocodile. That's just a pro tip. I'm going to put in some of these jump buoys. So I'm pretty sure these do work with the animal models I was able to download. So we want to put those in so we can see them kind of jump up to grab the food. Also going to put in waste baskets, make it look a little more realistic, along with those toilets. Registers on top of those guys. Or I guess I'm technically just putting monitors on top of those guys, but they'll look like registers when we get down there. Toilet paper. Go ahead and build a little roof. It's beautiful. And a little roof there. Great. Let's see if I have those bathroom signs. Still do. One for the boys, one for the gals. Everybody's happy. There we go. Guess that's not super realistic. I should also probably end up putting in like a family or a handicap stall or something there too. But didn't plan for that, so it's not going to be that realistic. If you want to make improvements, like I said, this is going to be available in the link below in the comments, or not the comments, in the description box. So you can go in and fix that and, pick up after me. I'm very sloppy. My girlfriend will tell you, I'm very sloppy. Picking up me after all the time. The towels I leave on the floor. It's amazing. Alright, gonna do a little trick here just to kind of spritz this up. I'm gonna hang these hanging rails here, and that way when we put this roof across, it'll look like there's kind of an archway between the dining room and the ordering area. I was gonna throw down a little... Yeah, I don't want to just make this a flat roof. That's kind of boring. I'm gonna put down a little hexagon here, like so, and we'll create a little raised area just to make it a little bit fancier. I could never quite get like the chandeliers and stuff to work, so this is kind of my answer to that. And I'm so fancy, you already know it, so go ahead and put in some sky panels there. Oops, I see we got a little problem here. Got a little hitbox issue. Something got copied wrong, so we'll switch that back to the yes, and yes, and where is that? There it is. Good. Great! This is all going along swimmingly. Sorry folks, slight edit there due to a minor game crash, but it looks like the state recovered. So we're going to go ahead and finish this off for you here. And we'll just curve out this pathway. Let's go ahead and grab some of the foliage that we've been using throughout our zoo to kind of tie this area in. You know what this is a good chance for? One last run of white flowers. Ah, yes. It feels right at this point. And we'll go to you. And some of our grassy grass with the dandelions in it, which I will continue to use in every single zoo. So if you don't like them, that's really your problem at this point. Bend that around the corner. What are we going to do with this little open area here? I think I have a crocodile crossing sign. That's going to work good. Put a little grassy grass down there. And we'll put it around here too. Grab a rocks. Kind of create viewing portals artificially by letting the grass grow in these areas I don't really want the guests putting their stinking feet in. After all, we don't want them reaching over the tank walls and getting a finger chomped on. Alright, a little roof over the kitchen area. Here's a question for all the Zoo Tycoon community out there. I cannot find like a good kitchen area download. So if anybody knows where it is out there, where you can get like ovens and stuff, leave a comment below. Or if you even just know a substitute, that will work. Let's see here. Croc. Can't fiddle dial, so let's do Croc eats. Eats, yes. Beautiful. And I guess we should put some crocodiles in our crocodile display. Let me grab you and you. Well, you guys are kind of big, but I think that's going to fit fine. Alright, final walkthrough of the final exhibit. You might remember to the right here are our auroras. But now if you go down, and there are the auroras right there in case you don't remember. I really like that exhibit. I would recommend going back and watching that episode. But here is the top of our croc area. You can see I did slope the ground down. It doesn't look like any of them are resting up against the glass yet, but you would have a good view if they were up there. And of course there are the cages to the north of us. Oh, there's one walking around the ground now. There he is. I see you. Looks like he was heading to the water though. So let's go ahead and push through. Of course we have our eastern elks to the east. I guess that's east. Yes, that's east. Still can't see any jumping up for the bait, unfortunately. But our eastern elks are down this way. And now you would go into the croc eats. If I had done more pre-planning to this area, I probably would have pushed the restaurant a little bit off the path so you could see it a bit better. But this is the last exhibit in the zoo, and I ran out of room. So that's why it's kind of pushed in there. But you can see there's our beautiful menu. You would go up there to the counter, you would get your food, you'd turn, you can see the beautiful arched vaulted ceiling. You'd walk into here with your tray of, I don't know, fish and chips, I would guess. And you can see right now one of those Voay crocodiles entering the water as you dine. And I'm okay with this water level, but if you did and you want it higher so you could see them swim a little more, or if you wanted to build an aquarium, all you would have to do is raise the land higher before you put it in the ground in that first step. I liked it at this level because I feel like the way you should see crocodiles is kind of half in the water, half out. But of course we also have our restrooms, which look great. Those are the Snow Leo bathrooms, which actually work functionally in the game, so I highly recommend them. Let's go in here, and this would be the kitchen area. Again, I can't find any kitchen stuff. It's weird. But that would be where you would cook the food, you'd hand it through the little window there, and the middle people would put it on the counter for the guests to turn in their tickets. Again, in-depth theme park food ordering, that's what you're here for. That's why I make the big bucks. And I think that's pretty good. I will be posting, I should note, one more video here in just a day or two, just a walkthrough of the zoo and its completion so that everyone can see what we've done together. But I think that's pretty much going to call... Oh, wait, can't leave yet. I haven't shown you what it's like to be in the actual exhibit as a zookeeper. I almost failed on the final video. How embarrassing would that have been? Let's just go now. Past here, and like I said, there's our extinct aviary area where we put in our 4 birds a few back. I like that exhibit a lot, but honestly, I did a similar exhibit before that was like a couple different parrots. It wasn't part of a zoo series, it was just a standalone, and because it was a standalone and I had plenty of room and I did a little more pre-planning, I think that one came out a little bit better, if I'm being honest. So if you are looking for that video, you can certainly watch it. I certainly don't hate it, but I think a better example of that type of exhibit is going to be that macaw hutches, as I believe what I called it, or parrot hutches or something hutches. Anyway, let's go in and take a look at our Voay crocodiles. And, well, they're happy. I can see a smiley face swimming around in there. There it is. And you can see those are the whole horns above their eyes. It's actually a really nice model. Not sure exactly where they got it from or what they used for the base of the model. I would assume just the regular vanilla Tycoon crocodile or Nile crocodile. But anyway, that's what it is. It's a smaller exhibit for the actual crocodiles, but I figured let's go out with a bang and make that kind of superstructure there to bring people in. And that is going to be the last building episode in our Rearc Park. We did it, guys. We filled an entire medium grasslands map with animals that unfortunately went recently extinct during the same lifespan of recorded history, starting with our dodos up front there and moving on. And I think it came out really good. I'm not going to go into too much extra detail here because, like I said, I'll be posting one more video from this zoo with just a walkthrough of it. Probably putting some wonderful jaunty children's music behind because people love that and it saves me from having to talk. But right now I am talking, so I want to thank you for joining me today. I want to thank you for joining me for all the episodes of this series. This series is coming to an end, but if you'd like to see the next series or any of the other ones I'm currently working on, best way to keep in touch with that is to subscribe to this channel. Also, if you like this video, be sure to like it and leave a comment below if you have a request for the next series. Other than that, that's it. This is Zoo Tycooner Steve saying bye.